Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I will show you how to set up and run a PostgreSQL database locally using Docker. We will cover two scenarios. First, running a basic PostgreSQL container. The second, running PostgreSQL with a seed file to initialize the database with some data. Let me show you the first scenario, that is running PostgreSQL container SQL container first without any seed file. Okay, without any seed file. For that, the first step is pull the PostgreSQL database image from Docker Hub. For that, the command is docker pull and then specify the image name. This Postgres and then specify the version latest. Here I'm providing the version as latest. This, sorry, here the typo mistake, Postgres. Okay, this command will pull the image from the Docker Hub. I have already downloaded Postgres image. Okay, so that I'm not going to run the command again. You can run the command from your side. Now, after downloading the image from Docker Hub, the next step is running PostgreSQL Docker container. For that, the command is docker space run space hyphen name. Here, provide the name for Docker container. I am giving Postgres -db. Name can be anything. You can give any name here. Okay. After that, provide environment variables is using -e. Then Postgres underscore password equal to test123. This provides password for user Postgres to connect to the database. After that, provide ports using -p. Default ports for Postgres is 5432. 5432. So what we are doing here is we are exposing port on host, that is 5432, which is mapping to the container port, that is 5432. So whenever someone access the port on host, that is 5432 on host, will be redirected to the container port 5432, and then run the container in detach mode using the flag -d. After that, specify the image name, that is Postgres latest. Okay, let's run this command. Okay, now Docker container created for PostgreSQL database. With this, our PostgreSQL database is up and running locally. Let's check by connecting to the container and then to the database. Okay, for that, use the command docker exec -it and then specify the container name. What is the container name here? PostgreSDB. Okay, Postgres -db and then bash. Okay, now we connected to the Postgres database container. Now to connect to the database, Postgres database, you can use PostgreSQL client like PSQL, DBEver or PGAdmin. You can connect to the database using PSQL command line tool as well. Let me show you how to connect to the Postgres database using PSQL command line tool. For that, the command is PSQL space -h. Here, provide the host name, local host, as the DB, there is the database is running locally. I'm using localhost space -u, provide username, that is Postgres, and then press enter. Okay. With this, we connected to the Postgres database. Okay. Postgres database. With this, we are done with the scenario 1, that is creating Postgres SQL database container without seed file. Okay, without seed file. Now let me show you creating PostgreSQL database container with a seed file. Okay, for that, let me exit from the database here using the command \q, press enter, then exit. Okay, clear. Now the second scenario is running PostgreSQL with a seed file. Okay, for that, when we want to run PostgreSQL with a seed file to initialize the database with some tables and data, the first step is we need to create a seed file. Okay, for that, let me go to VS Code. I have already created a seed file here. Seed file contains database commands. Okay, seed file contains database commands to set up tables and insert data. Okay, insert data. Here in this seed file, I have provided four database commands. One is to create users table. The second one is to insert initial data into the users table. The third one is create post table. And then the fourth command is insert initial data into the post table. These are the four commands I have provided or I have placed in the seed file. Okay. Once done with the seed file creation, the next step is creating Docker container for PostgreSQL database. Here I am using docker-compose file to create a database container. Okay. In docker-compose, every container is defined as service. Okay. Here the service name is DB, and then the image for our container or service is Postgres latest, and then we provided name PostgresDB. After that, environment variables, that is PostgresDB for database, Postgres user for user to connect to the database, then Postgres password to connect to the database. After that, specify ports 5432, 5432. And then here the volumes command will mount seed file into the Docker container. Okay, into the Docker container. Now let's create the PostgreSQL database container using Docker Compose. For that, let's go to the Docker desktop, and then the command to create Docker container using Docker Compose is docker hyphen compose space -f, provide the file name Docker Compose file name here. Okay, Docker Compose file name, and then space -up. Okay, once we run this command, our Docker Compose will create Docker container. But before that, we should stop and then remove the existing container. Why? Because it's already running on 5432, and in the Docker Compose file, we are also using the same ports for our container. Okay. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and then remove the existing container first, and then I will create another container using Docker Compose. To stop Docker container, the command is docker stop and then provide container name, that is Postgres and DB. Press enter. Now remove it. Docker rm Postgres-DB. Okay, we successfully removed or deleted existing container. Now run the Docker Compose to create PostgreSQL Docker container with a seed file. Okay, now Docker Compose. We create the docker hyphen compose one f s file and then up. Now press the enter. Okay, now press the enter. Okay, now press the enter. This command, once we are done with this command, once we are done with execution of this command, this starts the PostgreSQL container and executes the seed file which we created. Okay, execute the seed file during the initialization phase. Okay, we successfully executed this command and then the database system is ready to accept connections. Okay, for that, let's connect to the container. Let's connect to the container and then connect to the database. Okay, docker exec hyphen it space container name is postgresdb. Okay, postgresdb space bash. Okay, we now connected to the docker container. Now the command to connect to the database is psql hyphen h local host then hyphen u. The username is admin. If you check docker compose file, username is admin and then password is test123. Okay, let's use them. Admin, admin and then database is, what is the database we given the compose file? Let's check it. It's a mydb. Okay, it's a mydb. Let's that mydb and then press enter. See, we successfully connected to the database. Here, let's check what all the tables available. For that, the command is \dt and then press enter. If you see here, there are two tables, post and then users. Let's check the data here. For that, the command is select star from users. Press enter. See here, successfully inserted two rows. Now the second command is post. Press enter. See here, successfully inserted three rows. Okay, that's how we can create PostgreSQL database locally using Docker with and without a seed file. This setup is ideal for development and testing environments. You can now customize your database configuration or seed data as needed. Okay. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe for more such tutorials. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.